As I stand here on the precipice of civilization, I watch, as the world seemingly crumbles from chaos and madness, a madness we ourselves have created and participate in daily, a madness born from our imperfections, our desires, our emotions, our ego. Ah, yes, the ego, what a wonderful thing, both wonderful and destructive. At once, the force which has propelled us above all other forms of life on this planet, and also the power that is leading us headfirst into annihilation. For the ego is a thing we do not need any longer. It is a relic of a bygone era. It's the shadow in man. It is what makes us like animals. It sends us to wars. It makes us kill our own brother and turn against our father and mother. It makes us rape our own daughter. It makes us kill babies in the enemy camp because, after all is fair in love and war, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. And this is why civilization is now dying. We see it as being this magnificent monster, composed of technology, science and all sorts of wondrous achievements, yet it's like an apple that looks shiny and luscious on the outside, while rotten to the core on the inside. It is only a matter of time now before we see the worms that are at the core of the apple coming to the surface, and it will be then that the great dream of Western civilization will reveal its true nature to us. We will come face to face with a living nightmare of our own creation. Yes, our own. Is it so hard to believe? All we do, every day of our lives, is pass the buck. We constantly deflect the responsibility from ourselves and keep passing it on to someone else, ever onwards onto someone else. You know of what I speak. If you honestly examine yourself, you will see that you do this most of the time. So do I, of course. We all do. I am as much part of this problem as every man, woman and child on earth. The only difference, in my case, is that I have been able to resist the illusion of Maya, for a glimpse of time, for what is a blink of an eye in galactic terms, time enough for me to look into the great beyond and come back with a glimmer of truth, with a glimmer of hope, to show the world that there is truth and justice and hope yet, that we can defeat the darkness, that we can beat our ego, that rotten core, within every human being on the planet that keeps us stuck in this little box of our own creation we call reality. It is not reality, it is anything but. It is a trap, a dream, an illusion of our own making. Long ago, in the vast stretches of space and time, we decided that life was way too hard if one was responsible for every aspect of their existence, so we came up with an ingenious, for the time being, plot. We decided that we should give away the responsibility to the shadow, to our subconscious, that sleeping giant that no one can quite figure out exactly and understand fully, yet we all know there is something there. Deep inside us, there is a foreign body, a reptilian construct, a predator of Carlos Castaneda, the reactive mind of Hubbard. It's all one and the same thing. It is our subconscious and it is eating us alive, just like a predator would, because it is a predator and nothing more. It is the dweller on the threshold that we must all face as a planet. We need to do it individually, one by one. Each person, step by step, must free their mind of this dark entity that is intertwined with their soul and it has hijacked our lives, has hijacked the planet and is leading it to its doom faster than we can possibly imagine. The other races, out there, are watching. Eagerly they watch and wait, to see if we will defeat the enemy within, our connection to Maya, the subconscious, that ball and chain, that keeps us connected to the Reptilian Matrix. It is invisible to all but the very few, who are enlightened. But it's true and it is deadly. It binds us to the Matrix, like a reinforced steel chain that is impossible to break without achieving enlightenment. Impossible. But there is hope, yet. There is a glimmer of hope and it is growing by the second. There are wonderful souls coming into the planet by the minute. Daily, our battered planet is infused with love and light. The indigos and crystals are coming in now, in greater and greater numbers. They are the front line, the cavalry, the army of light, if you will. And it is these brave and compassionate souls that we need to protect and help and nurture and love. These people have come in, during the last 20 years, or so, in order to help save this planet from total destruction. They do not really want to be here. They do not really understand why the majority of the planet is the way that it is. What they do know is that they are guided by love and the highest good. This is what drives them. So, of course, they volunteered to come to this hellish realm because of love. Many of them do not make it, of course. But, you knew I was going to say this, anyway. You know, because chances are that you are an indigo or a crystal child or adult, if you had been directed to this video by this strange thing we call synchronicity. You know what I'm trying to say? You have felt it. The despair, the depression, the frustration with this world. You can't see why these people are so negative, so selfish, so oblivious. You, honestly, cannot understand it. But, you do not need to. I am here to tell you that people like us do not need to bother with trying to understand this world. All we have here to do is heal it, that is all. There is no point trying to understand the criminally insane serial killer, who has just been caught, after having raped and killed hundreds of children. What is the point in trying to understand this type of behavior? You are wasting your time and resources, and focusing on the negative, if you do this. No, what we need to do is heal the planet. The planet has gone insane and there is no point trying to overanalyze the why. There is no answer other than what was said before. We have been hijacked by the predators. They have given us their mind, as Don Juan explained to Carlos Castaneda. If you haven't read this before, please look it up and you will be astonished. What Don Juan says about this is 100% accurate and needs to be known by a much wider audience. It needs to become mainstream knowledge. This infestation that is within man is not native within us. It is not meant to be there, really. Never mind how it got there. All you need to know now is that it needs to be expelled. The predator's mind of Castaneda is actually the subconscious. That's what it is. This is not new. Gautama Buddha has been telling people this very same thing I am bringing through in this message. As did Jesus Christ, as do I now. There have been countless great luminaries that have told the earthlings repeatedly about this disease that is within mankind. But mankind does not listen. Mankind is stubborn and not want to change. We like sameness, if you catch my drift. Change scares us quite a bit. In fact, it is the thing we are most afraid of than anything else in the whole world. Think about this for a second, and you'll start nodding in agreement before too long. There is nothing but change. However, life is change, and that's all it will ever be, whether you can accept this or not. It is up to you, but this truth will always remain constant. As a wise man once said, the only constant is change. But we are accustomed to our patterns, we are accustomed to our routines, we are creatures of habit, and we hate change. Of course, this translates to the grim truth that we, in fact, hate life itself. For, if life is change and nothing else than change, if we fear and hate change, then we fear and hate life itself. But fear is our greatest enemy, if we ever really had one, in the first place. Fear is what feeds the Reptilian Matrix, what feeds the subconscious, what brings the illusion of Maya to life. And we need to stop supplying it with more fuel yesterday. It's up to you now. I have told you what we are up against and what is really happening. I am just the millionth person in a very long line of people that have given the same message. I am just using 21st century speak to get it across in this day and age. But the message itself is eternal. You will find it in the Vedas. You will find it in the Bible. You will find it in the New Age movement. You will find it in this very message. The message is always repeated, over and over again, said in different ways, to fit in with the different cultures and historical periods, but it is the same message. It is God trying to speak to us, trying to wake us up from the dead sleep of Maya. There are many who listen. However, there are many, many more who do not, and God has now run out of patience with this state of affairs, and will not keep repeating this message over and over again. We have free will. We know what to do. There is no excuse anymore, this day and age, to be ignorant of these matters. In this day and age, any ignorance is self-imposed, because With the internet and other such things, we can all have access to the things I just said in the video. You know the problem, you know how to fix it, or, at least, you have the means at your disposal to find out. I'll leave it to you. But know this, the world will not survive, this time, if we do not listen to the message again. God has run out of patience. We have ignored him for too long. He has other children too, across the cosmos, so he cannot babysit us forever. We must take responsibility, as a planet, and help ourselves. We have all the knowledge, we have the power, we have the wherewithal now. All we need to do is make the decision. It is only a matter of choice now. The higher realms have spoken to us, they have given us the truth, they have explained to us how to get out of this trap we call the third dimension. I will leave you with this closing statement. If we fail this time, it will be wholly our responsibility, for there is truly no excuse, this time round.